everyone, welcome. I am Sandy Linnae, and as you can see, we are on location in the historic Donovan Mill office in Silver City, Nevada. My guest today is the Executive Director of the Comstock Foundation, Steven Saylor. Welcome. It is an honor to have you on our program today.
Well, thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Oh, this is going to be a fun interview. All right. Well, can you tell our viewers all about Steven?
Oh. Well, I moved to Nevada in 1972 into the oldest house in Nevada, built in 1854. And I got my interest in historic preservation, restoring that home. It had no running water, it had no electricity, it had a WPA outhouse out back. And so for 4 years I carried drinking water, and behind the house was a pond that the Chinese had dug with a 7-mile ditch from the Carson River, and that was the town's water system. So I could use it to water the horses and the garden and the animals and stuff, and in the summer swim in it and take a shower. And so in 1974 I have a master's degree from Kent State University in the arts. And I had been working in Reno as an art director for May Advertising. We had offices in Reno and Vegas. So I was an art director and television director. And then UNR asked me to assist in starting up the arts program at the new campus in Carson. So in '74 I did that, and then I taught part-time. And in between I worked at the All-Ran Ranch, which is 1074 owned. I worked as a cowboy because I was wanting to paint the Western subjects. And the ranch manager would come around, look at my drawings, and say, "Son, you've got that all wrong." And so he said, "If you'll come out, I'll teach you, what you need to know, and then it'll be accurate in your paintings." So I did that for 8 years.
Goodness.
And did marketing and advertising for clients in Reno, and taught part-time at the college. So that kept me quite busy.
I can imagine so.
Yeah.
You like living in Nevada?
I love living in Nevada, especially in Dayton. It's a nice, quiet community. When I moved to Dayton, there were like 200 people between Dayton and Silver Springs, probably about 40 or so of us living in town. And then we just watched it grow.
Yes, in leaps and bounds.
And in 1976, the county decided we needed a water tank instead of an old pond with fish in it. So they brought a leaky old tank from, I think it was Fallon or Fernley. They got a new tank, we got the old one, but I had them sign me up. I'm the first one on the line. So
good.
Then I plumbed the house, built the bathroom, and put in running water. And I didn't realize how much work it was carrying all that water all these years. So I didn't have to do it anymore.
Exactly. Oh, how wonderful. And when was your house built again?
1854. It's called the Stevenson House. Mrs. Stevenson had it built.
Goodness sakes, 1854.
Yeah. There were some other homes about that age, or maybe a little older, but they're long gone.
Long gone.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you have history at the Donovan Mill, and you have history in your home.
Yeah.
You're a history kind of guy, I think.
I'm a history guy, yeah. history in the arts.
Well, sure, you are.
Yeah.
When did you become interested in, well, I should say Nevada history, but the Silver City history?
Well, when I became executive director of the Comstock Foundation in 2017, they had bought the Donovan Mill, so that was the main focus. And so moving forward from there, in 2018, we became the nonprofit of the year. Northern Nevada Development Authority awarded us nonprofit of the year. So that was a nice accolade. And that helped with getting grants and funding, which is our main source of income, other than now than tours and the ghost hunters who've given us, as you may know, over $45,000.
Isn't that
They're hard
incredible?
money, and they're just wonderful people.
We'll be talking about them in the second chapter.
Yeah. And so Silver City, Gold Hill, Virginia City. When I moved here in '72, my first wife, Alaki, who was from Finland, we had a little shop in Virginia City. So we were merchants up there. So we got to know the local community and had a relationship with Virginia City from the very beginning.
Oh, great. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
What piqued your interest, Stephen, towards a position in the Comstock Foundation?
Well, I was a volunteer. My wife, Johnny, was on the board, and so she volunteered me for everything. So I volunteered for a long time, and with my background and having run other nonprofits, they asked me if I would step in as executive director, and I said, sure, I would be honored and happy to do that. So that was 2017, and we're just happy and chugging right along ever since. So main part of my job is fundraising and working with Don and Elaine Bergstrom, who are on our board, but they're also the lead volunteers who have made everything happen here. Literally.
Okay.
And then we developed some programs for tours, lectures, special events. We do our lectures second and fourth Thursdays of the month at Piper's Opera House, which is a great venue.
Oh, it is.
And we work on a cross-promoting relationship with them. We do a 60-40 split. They give the foundation 60%, and then 40% goes to them for restoration of Pipers. So it's a great arrangement.
Sure.
We work with the Silverland Hotel. If we have guests from out of town giving lectures, they will compass a room. Same thing with the Cobb Mansion.
Really? Oh.
So a lot of community support, and it's good. Everybody cross promotes and helps one another, which is the way it should be.
As it should be, sure, sure. Now, the Donovan Mill, that is in Lyon County?
Lyon County.
That's not Story.
No, Lyon County.
Okay.
And the county line is just on the other side of Devil's Gate.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I like Devil's Gate. I think that's just, I just love that passage.
I want them to let me build the toll booth there again. We'll make a lot more money for the foundation if we charge everybody $10 to go up or down the road.
I agree. I just love it through there. And I just found out too, to get away just for a second, viewers, I just found out too that they had to blow up some of the mountain to make the passage wider so stagecoaches and freight wagons can get through there. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you learn something new every day.
I do.
Yeah, because it was a short passage, and now it's as wide to get a couple of cars through there now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have that down in my notes. I'll have to send that to you because there's a date that they did that.
Okay.
Oh, great. Now, were you elected director, or like you say, you were hired, but did they have to vote on you, or?
Yeah, I was voted on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, everybody agreed, so.
Well, yes.
That was very nice.
Well, that was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they have the best.
I try to give them my best.
Well, and you do. You go above and beyond. He does, viewers. What are the responsibilities of being the executive director? I know you were starting to say some of those things.
Well, the grant writing and coordinating events, making sure the funds are managed properly. We have restricted funds that have to be used for specific things. So I work with our accountant, and then we have to get approval for spending any funds over a certain amount of money. You get authorization from the board that, yeah, you can go ahead and buy the windows or buy the glass or buy cement.
Okay.
So those types of things,
Yeah.
plus the tours and lectures and answering emails, sending out membership cards. We have a good group of members in our membership. And,
Yeah. I just became one.
yeah. And doing the advertising, designing the ads and the marketing. And
Goodness.
Yeah.
You are one busy person.
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah, 7 days a week.
Really is it? I can imagine so.
Yeah.
I can imagine so. And one of the buildings that you represent are exactly what we're in, at Donovan Mill. Are there other buildings around these communities that you represent or take care of or preserve?
Well, the main one we'll be working on is the Cabin in the Sky, Joe Conforti's old restaurant in Gold Hill. Comstock Mining owns it. They're in the process of signing that over to the Comstock Foundation. In 2019, NV Energy Foundation gave us a $20,000 grant towards hiring the architect Pete Dubay. He's a museum architect out of Reno. And then they followed that up the next year with another $5,000. So if you go to our website, comstockfoundation.org, under projects, you can look at the rendering of the building. It'll be look like an old mill building, 2 stories.
Okay. Oh.
But it will represent the history of the discovery of gold in Dayton, and then on through the process of all the mines coming in, all the mills being built. But then further on, it will also bring in new technology that's going on, like at Newmont and Barrick, which is now Nevada Gold. So the idea is that 100 years from now, that technology probably will be old and there'll be something else, but it'll be represented in this museum. And we're looking now at adding a large conference room to that original building.
Oh.
The building right now is 8,800 square feet.
Okay.
So it'll house a library, displays, a gift shop, and then the convention center.
Oh.
We'll set it up with revolving displays coming in. I'm also the second vice president of the Nevada Museum Association in my second term. And so I work with 178 of Nevada museums. So we'll invite them to send displays and things to promote them.
Yeah.
Because it's all about promoting museums in Nevada, not just the Comstock. So
You're even a busier man. Every second that you talk, you get busier and busier. I think you love every second.
yeah, I do. I do. I really like what I do.
Nice.
Wear a lot of hats, which is fun.
Well, and it's all about the history of this area. I like this.
Exactly right.
And look what you're bringing forth, the history. So it's not forgotten.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've helped other nonprofits. Back in the day, we helped Fourth Ward School with funding and labor, St. Mary's Arts Center, Dayton Historical Society, or the Historical Society of the Dayton Valley. We originally started at Sutro. We worked out there for 3 years, and then Friends of the Sutro Tunnel was formed, and we could come back and make our main focus on the Donovan. And that organization is doing a tremendous job at Sutro. And Sutro is internationally well known to begin with.
Sure.
So when you drop the name Sutro, it rings bells with a lot of people. But we do cross-promoting with them. We encourage people to go there, and it's a good fit.
That's a good fit. Yeah. There's just so much wonderful history in this area. And look at you, you're just presenting it and showing it and giving it and offering it to just everyone.
We try our best. We really do.
Well, I think that you're above and beyond. I love that.
Thank you very much.
Now, on a personal level, you talked about your artist. You've got a degree in art history?
No, in the arts.
Just in the arts, okay.
Yeah, I have a BFA and an MA from Kent State University. I taught my my senior year. I actually taught classes there.
Oh.
And then they offered me a graduate assistantship, so that paid for my master's degree. So I taught classes then. And I wanted to get my master's degree so that I would be able to teach, because I like teaching. And you need a master's really to do that.
Okay.
So So that's how I ended up working for UNR at Western Nevada Community College. And then the last few years, I've taught part-time at Western Nevada College.
Oh, have you? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, how wonderful. You like to teach, huh?
Yeah, I like to teach.
Yeah.
I learn as much from my students as they learn from me.
Isn't that interesting? Sure. I understand that.
I do, yeah.
What is your favorite media and design?
Well, I like to paint portraits of people.
Oh.
And I use a technique called glazed watercoloring, which is where you work on a white panel, you put your drawing on, and then you work from light to dark like you would in traditional watercolor. But between each application of color, you spray a workable spray fix. And it's a technique I learned from an oil painter, turn of the century, named Maxfield Parrish, who did it in oil. And it adds a real luminosity to the work. So instead of the light being reflected off the surface, it transmits through all those transparent layers of color and varnish, and then optically mixes the color as it comes back out.
How interesting.
Yeah, and I'm a realist, and now, and I kept working and working towards getting better and better at it, and some of my paintings take 2 years.
Really?
I'm not real prolific.
Okay.
The most paintings I've ever painted in 1 year was 7.
Oh, goodness.
And they're not big.
Okay.
They're small. The biggest thing I do is maybe 32 by 20,
Oh, okay.
24, something like that. And some of those projects take a couple of years because they're commission work, and I've got celebrities in them. And I've got to travel around the country and get them in costume and get them in a position, have them sign a contract, and take the prints back to them, have them sign the prints, and then market them. And so it's a long, ongoing process.
Boy, that is a long process.
Yeah.
How fun, though.
Yeah, it is fun.
Yeah.
I've met a lot of wonderful people.
Have you doing that?
Oh, yeah, really have.
Oh,
Been
I
very
like
fortunate,
that.
Yeah.
Well, now, have you ever illustrated any books?
Well, I mean, like this one?
Like this one right here?
Yeah, my wife Jeadene writes wonderful stories about the animals. We also have a rescue program on our ranch. It's had it for 40 years.
Oh.
We used to have an 18-foot box fan, and I'd go out to Ralston Purina, which is beyond where Trick is now. Trick wasn't there then. They'd fill the truck up with pallets of food, and we'd bring it home, and it had a forklift. Then all the other nonprofit groups would come there from around the area, and we would load them up with food. And we've adopted out over 900 animals.
Oh.
From horses and burros and cats and dogs.
Really?
And we have currently, we have 3 horses in a burro.
Oh,
35 peacocks, chickens, pheasants, rabbits, dogs, cats, and so we still rescue. In fact, we just rescued one here from the Donovan last week. There was a little kitten underneath the back of the stamp mill, and Jeff Goldsworthy, who's one of our volunteers, kept saying he heard some meowing, and I didn't hear it. Then a woman came in, and she said, "I hear a cat meowing," and still I didn't hear it. So then I walked around over closer to the back, and sure enough, there's one kitten back there.
Oh.
And Jeff persisted. He just finally got the kitten, and I took it home, and Johnny got some formula out, so we named him Dassett. After doing a poll with all our ghost hunter friends, since he was found at the Donovan at the Dassett Mill.
Right.
So he's doing really well, so he's our latest rescue.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah.
Goodness sakes. Viewers, he just keeps getting busier and busier the more we talk.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask you one more thing about your art. Do you have a gallery?
Yeah, we have a gallery at our home in Dayton. It's in my studio is in a baggage car. It was Southern Pacific Railroad, which ran on the Carson, Colorado Railroad back in the day. They moved it up to our property in 1936.
Oh, really?
And in their 50s, a woman who was living there set it on fire and burnt the roof off.
Oh, no.
and one side of it. So when I got there was sagebrush growing in it. And then in 1978, when my second daughter was born, I refurbished that and put a gabled ceiling on it to get the heat off.
Sure, okay.
And moved up there. And then about 19 years ago, we added a gallery onto the baggage car. So we do have a gallery on our property.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah, and we're open on a regular basis.
Are you? Okay, you don't have to make an appointment. You can just show up or,
Yeah,
oh,
much, huh?
well, I'm just going to have to show up one of these days.
Yeah.
Awesome. Have you painted any scenes on the Comstock or from the Comstock?
Well, most of my paintings are from the area.
Okay.
Except the commission work, which is from all over the planet. So,
Oh, sure.
you know, I painted stuff from China on visits there. And
Oh,
so I like to paint a variety of subject matter. You know, so
that's
it
interesting.
varies, but my main thing is painting people.
that's interesting.
Yeah, so-
When do you find the time to do all of this?
We just schedule it out. You know, we've got 40 hours a week for the foundation, and
Oh.
so how many hours a week does that left for me to do my other stuff?
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I think that's wonderful. I like that. Now, back to the Comstock, just for a minute. Do you have any future plans for the foundation to expand to other communities and buildings outside of just this area?
No, not at the moment. Our focus is just on the Comstock Historic District. Yeah. The main thing would be the cabin in the sky, building the Mining and Milling Museum. So
That's a nice undertaking. I like that idea.
I like that idea too. So hopefully we get all of our ducks in a row. We'll get one of the large foundations, the Pennington Foundation, or one of them to get behind NV Energy Foundation and say, yeah, we'll support it. You know, it's going to cost like $4 million to fix it. So,
Sure, yeah.
So you need a good big organization or two or three to fund that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. I love all your plans. I love all your plans.
Well, thank you.
You're a wonderful person. I'm so happy to be able to do this interview with you today because I think viewers, everybody needs to know just who Steven Saylor is.
Well, thank you so much. I hope we gave him a snapshot.
Can you give our viewers your contact information?
Yeah, for the foundation, it's Steven, Steven, at comstockfoundation.org.
Okay.
Yep,
That's it.
that's it.
That's it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Steven. It's been an honor to have you on this
It's
program.
been an honor to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, viewers, for your time and your interest in this first interview. And be sure to watch the second chapter of the Donovan Mill with Steven Saylor. Thank you.
Thank you.